Hello, Heart and Soul Gospel Ministry listeners. This is Joseph, the host of Wake Up Call. Do you remember being punished when you were young? I'm sure we all grew up doing things that were punishable, and the majority of us were punished while growing up. Sometimes a memory of being severely punished stays with us even long after we've become adults. But being punished can also help us correct our bad habits. When you were harshly punished for something, did that experience cause you not to do that same thing again? If we think about it that way, being strongly punished is not such a bad thing, even though the moment of punishment is difficult and miserable. When we were young, there were many people who punished us. Parents, siblings, relatives, teachers, and even strangers we met may have punished us when we did something wrong. But these days, it's rare for anyone to scold or correct someone else. Doing so may cause us to be rebuked for interfering in other people's lives. But is that because, as adults, we no longer do things worthy of correction? Or is it simply because we are adults, and even if we do something wrong, others feel they can no longer correct us? Both seem correct. Unlike our childhood years, as an adult, we have more responsibility and make mature decisions. But at the same time, it's also true that now, because we are adults, it's much harder for anyone to correct us or rebuke us, even when we do something wrong. And when someone does try to offer correction, isn't it common for us to respond with something like, "I'm not a child, I'll take care of it"? Proper punishment would be a good thing for us. It may be an opportunity for us to change our wrong thoughts and actions. And perhaps that is why so many of us, especially we who are Christians, struggle to live rightly in today's world. What about you? Is there something in your life that you know would not be pleasing before God, something for which you know you deserve to be corrected? Since no one is punishing us, do we just live with these thoughts and actions? Being rebuked before God, put another way, is about sin. Sin separates us from God. Sin separates one person from another. If we are doing something punishable before God, then there is likely also a sense of distance between you and Him. I hope we can examine this. If our relationship with God is not the same as it once was, if you feel distant from Him, if we can't feel His presence, if it feels like He's not answering our prayers, if our spiritual lives have become dry or burdensome, I hope we first examine if we have thoughts or actions that may be displeasing to God and may bring punishment. If the answer is yes, then bring that issue honestly before God. If we don't handle our problems in a serious way, then God, who has been patient for a long time, may start to handle the problem in a serious way. Here is Hebrews chapter 12, verses 4 through 10. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And have you completely forgotten this word of encouragement that addresses you as a father addresses his son? It says, "My son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline. Do not lose heart when He rebukes you, because the Lord disciplines the one He loves, and He chastens everyone He accepts as His son. Endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as His children. For what children are not disciplined by their father? If you are not disciplined and everyone undergoes discipline, then you are not legitimate, not true sons and daughters at all. Moreover, we have all had human fathers who disciplined us and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of spirits and live? They disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good, in order that we may share in His holiness." In this verse, in your struggle against sin, you have not resisted to the point of shedding your blood. How do you feel about this verse? At times, we see people who fight to the point of shedding blood against the sins of society and other people. And while it is important to stand against the sins of the world, there is a more important battle we must engage in first, and that is the battle against our own sin. Only those who fight to the point of shedding blood against their own sin can also fight against the sins of society and other people. But too often, we turn a blind eye to our own sin, while quickly pointing out the sins of others or the brokenness of the world. It's very easy to criticize other people's sin. Anyone can do that. They, too, can speak out against social injustice or condemn the wrongs of others. But to confront our own sin, to name it, and to admit it, and to repent, is far more difficult. This is because the very nature of sin is to deny that it is sin. Sin always seeks to justify itself, to make excuses, and to shift blame. Isn't this exactly what we see in the Garden of Eden? Not one of them, neither Adam nor Eve, nor even the serpent, took responsibility for their sin. Instead, each one blamed someone else. Beloved Heart and Soul Gospel Ministry listeners, bring the issue of your sin before God. Just because we became Christians, it doesn't mean we live without sin, does it? While we live in the flesh, we continue to deal daily with sinful emotions that rise up in our hearts, and often those emotions bear fruit in our actions. When we hate others, act rudely, and criticize others, when we judge others, when we withhold love and fail to serve or show kindness, these are all proofs that we are still in sin. Are we fighting to the point of shedding blood against our own sin? If necessary, do we want God to punish and rebuke us so we could realize our sin and avoid it? If you're still living in sin and yet God does not discipline you, that is not something to be thankful for. In fact, it should trouble you. It's because it says in the Bible, "For what children are not disciplined by their father." I hope we don't forget that the purpose of punishment is for our benefit and causes us to participate in God's holiness. During this week, I hope we can bring our problem of sin before God, seeking His healing and restoration in our relationship with Him. I hope we desire to share in His holiness and be willing to accept His discipline gladly for that very purpose. We'll end it here. Goodbye.